Today we're going to make one of my absolutely favourite, most decadent, delicious desserts. We're going to make a raw pistachio, rose and fig chocolate brick. So I first made this recipe when I had loads of people coming around for lunch on Easter. I had 10 people coming around and it was so perfect to bring out after we'd eaten the meal, and then you bring out this beautiful chocolate brick. So much colour, so much flavour, and everyone loves chocolate. Everything that we're going to be using in this chocolate is completely natural. We're not using any refined sugar. It is going to be a raw chocolate brick. So all these ingredients that we're using are such good quality, really beautiful, really decadent. And so it just makes you feel like you're making something just a little bit special. When you're making your own chocolate, you need to melt the chocolate and the cocoa butter chips over a pot of water, boiling water here. You don't put it straight in the pot, otherwise, because you don't want it to burn the chocolate and it will get that really bitter flavour. So you get it in a glass bowl like this. I've got about 1 inch of water in here that's already boiling hot. And then I'm going to put the bowl just over the top. So it's just a really gentle way to melt all these cocoa butter chips. So we're going to add all our ingredients to this. We've got our cocoa butter. There's about 150 grams of cocoa butter. Let's add about 3 or 4 tablespoons of raw cocoa powder, and then we'll have a little taste and see whether it needs any more later. We've got some coconut oil, which has already been melted here. And what I love about adding coconut oil to the chocolate is that it gives it that really sort of soft, fudgy, smooth consistency to it. So it's not too hard, which I love. Lastly, we've got some maple syrup. I'm just going to add 1 pinch. I've got some salt crystals in here, and I'm just going to throw them in like that. So now let's get this over on a heat. This is my smallest flame, so I've got it on a kind of a low-medium heat. You don't want it to be boiling too ferociously because the chocolate will burn. Look how quickly this is melting already. And you want to just keep going until all the cocoa butter chips have melted. Right, so this is done. So we can turn that off. You can see that everything is completely melted. Let's get everything else in the chocolate. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add our rose water. Rose water can be quite strong, so we're only going to add about 1/4 to 1/2 tablespoon. And just mix it in. Yum. That's good. Now we can start adding in our figs. You can see, look, I've sliced the dried figs quite thin. They don't have to be paper thin, but relatively thin. I've added just about 1/2 of the figs in there now, and I've mixed them in, and then we're going to add the other 1/2 once it's set. After about 20 minutes of setting, we're going to drop in more. Otherwise, if we add them all now, they're all going to sink to the bottom. Let's start pouring it in here, and then just mix all the figs in equally so that they're equally distributed. Okay, now we're going to add our pistachios. So I've soaked these pistachios in boiling water because I wanted to have some that were bright green. And so when you soak them, then the skins are much easier to just rub off. You can just rub them off between your fingers and the skins will come off. So just start dropping them in. And then later on, what I'm going to do is, after it's set a little bit, I'm going to drop in the bright green ones. So they're the ones that you see right at the top. Right, so now 1/2 of the pistachios are in and the 1/2 of the figs are in. I'm just going to stir it round because you can see the coconut oil is now starting to come to the top. So I want to mix it all in again before we put it in the fridge or the freezer to set. That's ready to go in the freezer. We're going to take it out of the freezer after about 20 minutes, so it's semi-set. And that's when we're going to drop in the rest of the pistachios and the rest of the figs, get it back in until it's fully set, and then we'll just decorate the last final bits of it. So let's put this in. Want some chocolate, Sarah?
Absolutely. Do you need to ask me twice?
Let's go. It's nice, isn't it?
No, it's just perfect.
Good.
I have chocolate all around my face by the end of this.
So guys, I really encourage you to make this beautiful raw pistachio, rose and fig chocolate brick. And I bet you anyone who you make it for is gonna be so happy with you.
I am.